It is the Riot Podcast. Thank you for joining us on Thursday, June 23rd, for the show.
Yes. And now, before this, if you're watching our video podcast on RadioU Riot on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you also catch up with our Hot Ones Pringles challenge that we tried the 2 hot flavors of those chips. So go before that. If not, if you're listening to the audio on this podcast, then you'll hear that then.
So today on the podcast, we talked about how Hudson got kicked out of his house yesterday.
Oh, big story, big drama.
Some large drama in Hudson's household as he was kicked out searching for a little gas leak, apparently.
Yeah, I got kicked out of the house, but I made a friend.
With the
gas guy.
Oh, the gas guy. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
not
pretty
your
nice.
neighbors. They hid.
No, yeah, that's right. The neighbors, they're obviously, we don't have a good relationship.
No, they're not
But,
concerned enough
I
to
can't
come
say
out.
we didn't try to save their lives. So, yeah,
Well, I'm glad
we
it
tried.
worked out.
We did what we could.
And now you don't have to hide outside for any time today
Yeah,
since hopefully everything's
not.
good.
Hopefully not.
We also touched on an AI program that turned out to be just a little bit faulty. They haven't gotten all the updates in yet, I guess.
What was your wheelie?
Wheelie.
Did you
Wheelie the
hear?
robot.
Wheelie is, let me hear him now, in case Isaiah wasn't
I
listening.
didn't hear.
I imagine Wheelie, like a scientist, a roboticist, works really hard on Wheelie. And so Wheelie is going to be, serving you at the next time you go to a restaurant. And then you walk in and Wheelie's like, Wheelie's saying, welcome to White Castle, sweet cheeks, hubba hubba.
Sexist.
Auga.
I knew you were going to do that one. You're so old school. It is such...
Check out the gams on that one.
You're such a gentleman
geez.
that you don't know any newer words. It's so nice to
All
hear.
of his catcalling is from 2003.
Also,
it's
in
from movies,
in
like-
the 1940s or whatever, they were so much more open with their. So that's it's out in the open now, where people are much more covert with their sexism. So
Well, your robot would be truly pretty classy compared to everybody else's.
Yeah, that's what I think about too with these robots. Like, obviously, like in the however many years it is that there are gonna start to be robots at places and stuff. I don't know how long down the line that is, but it's gonna be funny to see the differences. Like, you're gonna walk into McDonald's and obviously they're not gonna have the 13 Pro.
Yeah.
They're gonna be rolling with the Series 6 and well, we haven't really figured out the whole racist part about it yet, but we can afford the newest ones, unfortunately. So that'll be something to look forward to in the future.
I mean, it really is interesting. Imagine how much quieter it would be in a restaurant, in the back area, because there's there's no clutter
There
and
wouldn't be
confusion.
chit-chat.
No one's yelling at everybody.
Because I had to go in to McDonald's last time I was there because they gave me someone else's order through the drive-thru, and man, when I walked in, it was just like a war zone. It was crazy, yelling and lots of other mistakes happening. So you wouldn't have mistakes, you wouldn't have talking, you wouldn't have a mess. They wouldn't drop food, and there wouldn't be just stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So it actually sounds relaxing.
Maybe though, if the robots are racist and whatever, then you'd hear them back there. They'd be like, "Can you believe that Irish guy? The temper on him." Maybe they'd just be bickering about the customers, just like the real employees do.
See,
Wow. Even your racism would be classic.
I know, right? And I used to
I'm trying to keep it okay.
I know
I'm
you
not
are.
You say
trying to
whatever
not
you want,
get in
Hudson.
trouble. And
say
anything I
whatever
do
you
say,
want.
remember, it's the robot, and I would never say things like that, obviously.
Sure.
Of course, it's not what I think.
Yeah, I think too, every time I go, I used to think oh yeah, I hate talking to the AI stuff on the phone and stuff, and going through the drive-thru, I'd rather talk to a normal person. But every time that I go through the McDonald's drive-thru, less and less do I want to talk to a normal person, because I'm well, I've got this deal on the app, and well, if you want to use the deal,
Yeah.
you got to use it back there. And so the robot would just be okay, whatever, put it in there. But the people, just the attitude, it's unreal. We also, at the very end, we found out that it turns out, after all, I might not be the worst dog parent.
It's me.
It's Nikki
It's me, but my other 2 dogs are fine, so I don't think it reflects on me personally. But I was just very upset about it because that was a bad showing.
Bad showing from the crew over
That's
here.
it. Bad showing, and we got to find something else.
And
So.
Isaiah and I can pat ourselves on the back. We've never gotten our dog kicked out of anywhere.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. You
Vanished.
never had your dogs groomed. Your dogs don't need grooming.
True.
So that's different. My dog has to be tied up and shaved and
Well.
brushed out and do all this stuff. You wouldn't
Do
want.
they not need grooming, or are we just too frugal to let somebody else do it? Why would I pay some person to do it?
My dog's coat is different than your
a long coat
dog's.
or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Got
they
it.
get matting if you
Like
don't
get
do it.
trimmed, they trim it. Oh yeah, Jim can't be trimmed. His hair isn't quite long enough.
So I think if your dogs would be in that position, then maybe we'd all be in the club.
well, I don't know. They love Jim at the groomer. He has to go every week. He smells so bad. It's like a second home for him.
He's just getting a bath. My dog can
Yeah.
handle a bath.
Your dog you get a lot more.
All right, well, I'm just very sad still. All right, I'm going to go cry.
Yeah.
Either way, Nikki's now
We don't have
bad,
any. You came to
bad
the
dog
wrong
mom.
place if you want us to help you feel
I know.
better.
I just want someone to tell me a place where, like, it's a psychiatrist / dog groomer who can talk to
Yes.
my dog through his feelings while getting his hair
And
cut.
talk to you about your feelings
I
too,
know
it sounds
about
like.
it.
Yeah, Rollo needs a little extra special help.
Yeah, that's all right. It's too late. I have to keep him. So enjoy the podcast. I love him too, but enjoy the podcast today. Make sure you text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U. Tomorrow, no Isaiah in the podcast.
Oh, it's going to be a great show.
And Monday, everybody's leaving but me, so there is no podcast on Monday.
Oh, it'll be an even better show.
Yeah, the best show yet.
You guys really actually want to hear that. And then on Tuesday, we'll all be back with lots of stories on how the weekend went.
And we will talk to you then.
Bye,
See you
guys.
guys.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Hello, Isaiah.
Hi there.
Hello, Nikki.
Hello. Howdy.
Howdy.
It's from earlier this morning. It's thing.
I say howdy one time. It's a big deal. Isaiah says howdy all the time. We don't even bat an eyelash
thing.
at it.
That's different. That's not a howdy. That's
Because he's a
howdy.
farmer.
Precisely. It's howdy.
I always envision it as like, how is your day? Howdy.
I guess it is like that. I didn't even imagine that.
That's how I always interpreted it.
It's good. It's good. So you guys cut me some slack today. I got kicked out of my house last night.
What happened?
You ever have one of your carbon monoxide detectors go off?
Yes.
Yeah. No?
Do you
But
have
I do
it?
have one.
You
Okay,
do?
good.
Yeah, my mom made me put it in. It was a big ordeal when I did.
When was the last time you tested it?
See, yeah, it's recently
When was the
put
last
in.
time you changed the batteries?
She bought one for me to make sure that I would have one in my house.
Uh-huh.
And then she had told my dad, like, just go ahead and, like, plug it in because you know he's not going to plug it in if you just give it to him. And then my dad just gave it to me, like he probably would. And I didn't.
plugged it in?
I didn't plug it in for a long time. And she walked into my house one time and she was like, are you kidding me? She's like, and then she's like yelling at my dad. She's like, I told you to just plug it in for him because you knew he wouldn't plug it in. So she plugged it in.
I'll tell you,
It is now
I feel
in.
it's only our moms that care about us.
I know. My dad was like, he's an adult. He can plug it in if he wants
Yeah.
it.
He's an adult. He can die from carbon monoxide poisoning. It's his choice.
Exactly.
So my carbon monoxide, I have a few around the house. And one of them, only one, started going off last night.
Did you get scared?
It was the one in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it is loud, man. That is you're not gonna sleep through that.
Well,
So-
that's the point.
Yeah. So it starts going off, and I'm like, well, this is clearly a mistake. I don't have carbon monoxide in my house. So I turn it off.
oh, no.
And then it
What's
starts-
the point of it?
Wrong.
What is the point of even having them?
And so, well, I was like, if it's if there's actually an issue, it'll turn back on, right?
Decent reasoning. Okay, I can get
Or
behind
the
this.
others will turn on.
Right. That's what I was thinking, right? I have literally, I think I have at least 4 because all the smoke detectors also do carbon monoxide. And then there's like one other one that's specifically for, I have like at least 4 and only the one is going off. So I turn it off. It'll turn back on if something's really wrong. Turns right back on. Like right back on.
Did you start to feel sleepy? That's what you're supposed to like, because if you feel sleepy,
I
that
felt
means something's
fine.
happening.
No, I was completely fine. So I did the right thing. Got everybody out of the house, including the dog, of course. Called the gas company and wait.
Did they have to
I had
come
to leave.
out?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
because right, you call them and you're like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. Just turn it off and unplug it, and
Did you
you're
turn
probably
it off?
fine. You're probably
Replace the
fine.
batteries, you'll be good.
I expected the person on the phone to go, well, do you have a gas leak? I would say no. Okay, turn it off. You're fine.
You just need to reboot it. Does like a fire truck come? Or?
No, I think I wonder too, because I think you're supposed to call that. Like on their website, they're like, call 911 and call us. And I was like, I am not calling 911.
It seems a
for
bit
this.
extra, yeah.
So I call them, and she doesn't mention a thing about 911. She's just like, okay, well, get everybody out of the house if you can. and we'll send somebody out and whatever. And if you lock the door and you're not there, we are going to have to kick it down and get the fire trucks.
Oh, no.
We're going to have to break it down.
Yeah, so I did not leave. I mean, I stayed nearby, and waited. It took probably about 30 minutes.
No. What time is this? What time is this all going down?
It was like 6:30
PM?
Yeah, of course. I was
Okay.
here at 6:30 a.m.
You
What are
know,
talking
now that
about?
I think about it, that was a dumb
Good
question.
question. Good
I was
question.
imagining this was like 1 a.m., so this is different.
No. Yep.
I still really would have wished, a big fire truck with lights and stuff so
Yeah.
that your neighbors are
Didn't
concerned
panic the neighbors.
about
We'll
you.
get a load of this, right? So the guy comes over. He does his first sweep of the house. No, nothing's sticking out. He lets me come into the house. He's like, which one was going off and stuff? And still, showed him. He's like, all right, I'll do some more testing, stuff or whatever. Then the second time while he's in the house and I'm waiting outside, it does start going off. So I guess I reset it again.
Oh, sure.
And so at least he knows now I'm
It's
not
not
crazy.
lying.
But he does a few more things. He still can't figure anything out. And it's like, well, you live in a duplex. More often than not, especially when it starts happening like this, it means it's coming from the other house.
Yep.
And so...
Oh, don't say yep like you're
Yeah.
Of course, obviously.
That
right?
was what I
Obviously.
thought you were going
Yeah.
with. That's where I thought it was going. You
I
said
did
duplex,
not
and I
hear you
said
say
other
that.
place.
Of course.
Did they have a leak?
This is what's sad. I know all the neighbors were home. I saw
And
all
you
of
didn't
their
even
cars.
knock?
I could
Aw.
see somebody in the window. And the gas guy goes over there. He knocks. Waits
They
like
don't even answer the
They did not
door.
answer the door. Their house could have exploded. And they wouldn't answer the door,
People are
which I don't blame them. I would have done the same thing. But I would rather explode than have to
Answer the door.
But so finally he's like, well, I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
He couldn't do anything with the neighbors for he just can't. So
You didn't break down the door? I was
He did
hoping you were going to
not-
say you broke down
he
the
did
door.
not break down the door. I wish that he did. But he just keeps, perusing around the house because he's got to figure this out. And what he finally figured out is somehow there was something was coming out of my sink drain in the kitchen because that's where the detector was. It was going off, right? And that was the only one. Something was in my sink drain. I told the guy, I said, I didn't dump gasoline down my sink drain. He's like, well, a lot of times it can happen if you recently cleaned, you use cleaning supplies. I was like, this might surprise you, but I haven't recently cleaned.
I haven't cleaned in a while, sir. It can't be that. Has to be something else.
He's telling me, I still feel like we're far away from the
Yeah.
answer.
We're not getting
Are
any
there any
closer.
other possibilities of what could be? So
Because it's not that.
yeah, but he said if we ran water down the sink and whatever for a while and just messed with it, and he's like, it's not sometimes it can cut. Basically, he made sure it was safe.
Yeah.
Something was leaking out of my sink drain. It
Weird.
was setting the thing off, but it was not enough to get through the rest of the house. I don't know. It's just weird. But all in all, I was stuck out of my house for like an hour in the heat.
Well, you're alive, so.
Yeah, and the guy was super nice, very helpful. I'm glad that it wasn't too much of an ordeal. But yeah, so that's
And
what
hey,
happened. So
Way to go, neighbors.
yeah, right.
Way to really step up in time.
Yeah. Next time, if somebody knocks on my door, I see the gas truck out there. I guess I'll answer.
You're not. You're going to hide in the window.
Yeah, right.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Okay, so explain this one to me, y'all. We've got Ohio State University. They have finally, after they've been trying this for like 3 years, they have finally successfully trademarked the word "the."
Mm-hmm. So the Ohio State University for merchandise stuff.
Why?
Well, I mean, the want to.
The want to. I like that. I like that. Why did they trademark it? Like you've never heard of the Ohio State University?
I've heard of it. I've heard it called that.
But why you think they want it on their merchandise and stuff?
Why? I mean, what are they? I'm seeing here. It looks like they're going to sell big shirts with the word "the" on the front.
Well, they say that Ohio State can have apparel that just has the word "the" or "the" on it. They tried back in 2019. I think it was Marc Jacobs that had part of a control for the
What, it was already taken?
Yeah, the Ohio State and Marc Jacobs, which is a clothing company designer, resolved their dispute so both could claim the use of the word "the" on products because that was a process where the clothing company had filed its own application for the trademark. So that's why it's taken some time.
Oh, so what? They just want to make money off of the word "the."
I think so. Well, I mean, it is.
It's a pretty big deal with the
It's a big
Ohio
deal.
State thing.
Do you think it's cool to walk around with a shirt that says "the" on it?
No, it's just like a part of the brand, I guess. It's just like, everybody has something for their brand. Like people have the colors and stuff for their team, and "the" is just a part of Ohio State's brand. Like the backstory of like the right?
No.
So originally in the beginning it was because of Ohio University and then Ohio State University, and so when it came out, then they were like wanted to actually be the State University of Ohio, and so that's
Why
why
don't they call themselves that?
Why they call themselves what?
Why don't they call themselves the State University of Ohio?
It's too late for that. All right.
Well, it's called Ohio State, and so they were trying to be able to like differentiate between Ohio University and Ohio State University, and they wanted to be the main school of Ohio, so they put the in front of it, and then that's why we are where we are today.
So Ohio State has said that the Ohio State University generates over $12.5 million a year just through trademark and licensing, which then goes back
Well, that's
to
not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough, right? To fund scholarships and other programs that they run.
Oh, that's very nice.
So
that's very nice.
That's where the go to.
So, so I'm supposed to feel good that they've trademarked
You're not
the
supposed to question it.
I don't think. Yeah, you don't have to feel any way about it. I don't think it's just another thing for them to make money off
Yeah,
of.
but
You know,
you don't think it's goofy?
No, not so much.
I
I
don't
think
see
you're overthinking it.
I think it's worth overthinking the word "the."
You're not supposed to.
I'm gonna start. I think Ohio University should trademark A.
Oh,
We
really?
are A Ohio University. We're not the Ohio University, but we're A Ohio University.
Hey, don't give
and
them
that's
ideas.
something.
So Ohio State also attempted to defend trademark stuff back in 2019. Went to court with a high school apparel company over the use of the letter O.
the Block O.
So they're
Yeah.
trying to get all the letters.
So
then.
they just want to make sure they got everything covered, and they will go after you if they think they have a case.
So I guess we should probably stop saying "the" then.
Well, I think
Just
we
to be
can say
safe.
it, can't
Just
we?
to be safe.
Were we ever the riot or?
Yeah, I don't think we're the right. You're right.
We should put that. We should have beat them to the punch.
Hey, we
We've
need
lost our chance.
We should now go ahead and make apparel for that.
Yeah. Well, now we can't. So we'll have to be a riot.
That's good enough for us.
Now I can't even say one of the riots. We are just a riot.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
What do you think about the Spork, Nikki?
The Spork is at the fork spoon combo.
That's right.
And I feel like we got that sometimes in school. Like if they were going, hey, they don't really need two things. Like let's save money.
Actually, that's a great point.
Let's save money and just provide one
That's
thing.
smart.
Yeah.
That's smart,
And
actually.
then sometimes you get to a restaurant, usually like at a food court or something, and they'd have the Spork around.
Yeah. You think it's an improvement on either?
I just thought it was always weird, but I thought maybe it was weird because we don't use it as often.
Yeah,
Like if
but-
we did, maybe it'd be not so odd.
I think the Spork is an improvement on the spoon, but I think the fork is a bit more functional as a
Sure.
fork. The Spork doesn't have enough poking power.
You know what they could do?
What's that?
Put a knife on the end, like where you hold it. It's just a plastic
So you could
thing.
cut your hand while you eat?
It's plastic. Good luck cutting anything.
Yeah.
But then you could have a 3-in-1.
Yeah. What would you call that?
I can't. I'm not clever enough to think of something.
Nafoon.
Well, you'd have to
How
add
about-
knife to spork. You guys come up with something.
Yeah. If you made it knife and then fork and then spoon, so nafoon.
Nafoon?
You got all three. That sounds fine. That's totally. I would like can you hand me a nafoon, please?
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Are
so-
sporks coming back?
Well, yeah, I didn't realize this, but it makes sense that KFC was partially, they like to credit themselves with being partially responsible for the rise of the spork back in the 70s. They introduced it and started giving that out at their restaurants. They were probably one of the first places to do that. And so I think you can still get sporks at KFC today. You can't get them at every restaurant, but they give them out. And that makes sense. They're great for mashed potatoes, of course, and corn, some of the other sides they have at KFC. Well, now they are trying to improve upon the spork. Because what's one of the problems with the spork? You can only hold one at a time, right?
Sure, and I think they break. So
Sure.
I don't remember
They're
that.
not that structurally sound. That's fair.
Any plastic cutlery breaks.
Yeah. So they aren't improving on that, but they are making it so that now instead of holding only one spork at a time and eating just one bite of food, you could eat 4 with one hand. You could have 4 sporks on one hand with the finger spork.
Oh, it's they're weird. They attach to your fingers.
Yeah.
And
So
then
now
at the
you don't
end,
have to be
holding it?
licking your fingers at KFC. I mean, I guess you're licking the finger spork.
I think
Finger spork looking good.
Well, put that right there.
Rolls
That's
right
a
off the
slogan.
tongue.
I feel like you need your thumb to kind of hold down on the finger spork. But they're going to be offering these July or June 21st. So they already are.
Yes, starting
To July
yesterday, or a couple
12th.
days ago.
To July 12th, while supplies last. They're free, but let's see. You have to purchase a KFC side meal on the mobile app or through their website or in restaurants. Gosh, just say
Just
it.
say it. You just need to order the side lover's meal
Gosh, why does it make it so hard?
until July 12th while supplies
And then
last.
if you qualify, you get 2 free KFC finger sporks. That's how you get them.
So you're going to have to go back a couple times, order a couple side lover's meals so that you can really be Edward finger spork hands.
That'd be an awesome
That
costume.
would be amazing. Or Wolverine with the
Guys,
sporks.
if you could choose which side, what side would we want if we just
Ooh.
had a choice?
Yeah. Does the biscuit count?
It does, yeah. Let's make it
I
count.
think I might go with the biscuit.
The biscuits are good. I like the corn. I
Yeah.
don't like gravy, so I don't like the mashed
I
potatoes.
like the mashed potatoes, but they don't give you enough.
They don't give you enough gravy?
They don't give you enough mashed potatoes. They've shrunk those mashed potatoes from back in my day.
Is that controversy?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that say it's not enough. It's not enough.
Well, I think with eating the sides with the finger sporks, it will take you longer to eat now.
And
so
let me
that's
tell you
good.
the worst thing about the KFC mashed potatoes.
What?
They give it to you. It used to be you would get it in a little styrofoam thing,
Mm-hmm.
which was great, bad for the environment, but was perfect for mashed potatoes. Now it's in a little Tupperware thing, but at the bottom of the Tupperware, it's all, there's a bunch of ridges.
So it gets stuck in there?
It gets stuck in the ridges, so they're already giving you a small amount of mashed potatoes, and then you can't even eat all the mashed
You
potatoes.
can.
You got to stick your face in and just like lick it.
Lick it out. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in the game. All right, whatever
All right.
you got to do.
If you think it's not a problem, then I guess it's not a problem.
Actually, I would lick it out if no one was around.
Yeah. Well, usually no one's around when I'm eating KFC. There's a lot of shame involved.
Is that a private thing?
Yeah, it's a private. Nobody wants to see that.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Artificial intelligence. It's the way of the future. It's going to lead us into a perfect utopia, right?
Well, I feel like we just expect to see it more where you go to a restaurant and it's robots who are making things.
Yeah.
Or you go home and it's a robot making things.
Right. It all sounds so perfect, right?
It sounds nice.
But it turns out maybe not so much. According to some new research from Johns Hopkins University in Maryland, they are concerned. Here's a quote from them. We are at risk of creating a generation of racist and sexist robots.
For robots?
Yeah, they're afraid that the robots that we are
How's
creating.
that possible?
Well, the robots are created by people, right?
Actually, what it really kind of comes down to is, when it's, AI, so artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
is created, though, by humans.
It's created by people, and it's based off, like when you have your neural network that's just gathering a bunch of information and, combining it all, but a bunch of information from people. And a lot of people have a lot of different biases and, different ways of thinking. And so that all that just gets all added into the robots if you're just going to base it off of artificial intelligence. So they are concerned about that. I love the idea of like some researcher, some roboticist or whatever. He's got this new robot he's so proud of. He's like, this is Wheelie. He wheels around and he's going to serve you at the next restaurant. The next time you go into a restaurant, Wheelie. And then Wheelie's over there like, how do you do, sweet cheeks? come on over here and give daddy a kiss. And he's like, no, robot, stop.
But it shows. It
Don't
shows
let
like
her behind the wheel of a car. Stop it, robot. Please, stop.
That's your thing.
Yes.
It shows the hidden side of the person who created the robot.
Yeah, right. And the scientist might be very well-meaning, but he used the wrong neural network, the wrong artificial intelligence.
Is he going to say, get back in the kitchen?
Yeah, that's right. Why am I back here? It should be you.
Okay, that'd be kind of a funny
scientist
robot.
is so embarrassed. He tried so hard. Yeah.
I could then just kick the robot.
Yeah, right.
So they say that in our
Fight
quest
back.
for AI, we want such a human element to artificial intelligence. We want it to feel like we feel, but what comes with that could be some of the negatives of some people's feelings.
And it's just, I guess it's really hard to control for that, especially like you want more and more information. You want the robot to be smarter and smarter and just have more information
Just
that
not
it
a
can
woman.
grab from. Yeah, right. You want it to be a man robot. And
Because we apparently can't.
I guess that would be even better. A robot that's a sexist and it's a woman sexist. It hates men. It has a very low view of men. That'd be amazing. I couldn't even do that. I don't know. Do women like that exist?
That can happen. Believe it or not, we can be mean on either side.
Yeah.
So.
So what it really comes down to though is they were testing. Like analyzing a popular neural network artificial intelligence program that like a lot of people use it online. I believe they call it Clip. And it compares pictures to captions. And I guess it found that algorithm often would spit out things that are racist and sexist when it's
I see.
yeah
Possible for that.
yeah.
Good.
I'm not going to read you any of those
No, thank
racist
you.
and sexist
We
things.
don't.
That'd be horrible.
You know what? Wheelie told us enough.
Yeah.
Of his
we are unplugging Wheelie.
Wheelie is
Unacceptable.
Not around.
Unacceptable. We're going to have to reprogram him
To be
with a
nicer.
much more neutral, unbiased robot.
I'd love to come. You come to someone's house and you're just like, "What did your robot just say to me? What?" And you're like, then you look at the person like, oh, "That's you."
Yeah. It's all coming out. You can't hide behind the robot.
Nope. Wheelie will tell it all.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
We were just talking about the Westminster Dog Show last night. Congratulations to Trumpet the Bloodhound
He's cute.
on his win, and more importantly, I'm sure congratulations to whoever his owner is,
On the money?
I'm sure she'll be yes, she'll be even richer than she probably already is. But we were talking about dogs, of course. And well, Nikki, I'll just turn this over to you.
Well, I had a Rolo update from yesterday, and I want to show you this is why my dog's not in a dog show. Okay. So I've been very vocal that my dog has stress and
Yes.
anxiety.
Yeah.
And so yesterday he went to get groomed. So when he goes and gets groomed, because he's a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, so you have to. The day before, I have to give him a pill, and it's basically a pretty big anti-anxiety pill, and he's almost high like the whole night. Like you talk to him and he's just looking like he doesn't even focus
I
on
might
you.
need to borrow some of those. It sounds like.
I know, like if
Good
someone
old
broke
Jimby.
in my house, they'd steal these things. So he gets one pill the night before, and he gets like a half or a whole right before he goes and gets the grooming done. And it's supposed to like relax him so that they can cut his hair. But like, I don't think it ever really works. Like he pushes through when he actually goes and gets his hair cut. So yesterday afternoon, I get a phone call from the person to come pick him up that he's done. And she's like, yeah, are you sure you're giving him pills? Because he acts like he's not on anything.
Uh-oh.
And I get the bottle. I'm like, this is like what I give him. And I tell her the name. She's like, yeah, that should work. And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll come pick him up. She goes, well, wait a minute. Hang on one second. And she told me he can't come back again because
What?
it was so bad.
Oh, no!
Are you serious?
I promise you, I was so embarrassed.
Banished.
What could he have possibly done? That was so bad.
Did she say?
She said like he won't just sit still.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's because they're so short staffed. Like she would need someone to hold him while
yeah.
he gets cut. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, I can hold him.
Fine. He
I
doesn't
can
need to
do
be
it.
groomed.
So
So you gotta find a new place to go.
I do. I gotta make Eric like cut his hair because he's gonna be the same at every place. And I called my vet and I was like, yeah, he got cut out of class thing, and I need new pills.
Need something stronger.
I was so embarrassed for him, and I made Eric go pick him up.
I wouldn't show face either. I'd have been like, Jim, let's get out of here, dude.
Like, we're gonna find someplace that appreciates your uniqueness, but he just won't sit still. So I thought I'd tell you guys that. That's how bad he was yesterday.
That is.
He doesn't bite or anything, but he just won't sit still.
Yeah, takes them too long. They just can't handle it. Poor Rolo and poor that groomer.
I don't care.
They're fine.
Yeah.
At least, it's not like Rolo's mean.
Yeah.
It's just that he's a little bit high maintenance. You know, he takes a little bit longer probably to get through the whole process.
It's the breed's problem. And so then when I looked at him when he got home, I was like, "What did you do? I'm so embarrassed for you." So my dog has been asked to no longer come back for grooming again.
They put up a picture. Do not groom this dog.
And then when Eric went to pick him up, the owner guy, because he's allowed to go and go to doggy camp there. He can still go there. The owner's like, I don't know. Because I don't think they want to lose our business because I have 3 dogs. But the rest don't need groomed. So.
Man, that's a tough one.
Thought I'd tell you my moment of shame yesterday. But it's not like I did anything wrong, but I just can't get him to stop, behaving that way.
Yeah, being the doggy parent when your dog does something like embarrasses you is the worst. Like, I'd get in the car with Jim after going to the dog park and him being bad. I'm like, Jim, you're embarrassing us, dude. Like, you were a reflection of me, and now you're making me look bad.
Well, at least Jim can go back to the dog park.
Yeah, I know. Jim hasn't even been kicked out of a place yet, so I mean, Nikki's down bad here.
You're doing something right.
So
at least you're not last.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should try one of the mobile ones where they park in your driveway.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That way, if he stays closer to home, he won't get as anxious.
Hopefully, that's you can try it.
Or I can try it. I can go hold his hand.
I'll cut him for you.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.